Alright guys, so welcome back to another comic review, and today we're going to be talking about the next volume, Volume 3, or technically Volume 4, because there was that Fear State tie-in, of Nightwing, The Battle for Bludhaven's Heart. Yes, I know, as of this recording, the run is over, but I've been reading it in trade, and my good friend Chris, who's been sending me these comics, has basically been keeping me in the run. At this point, I'm sure he's going to be sending me the entire run like he did with Ben Percy's Wolverine. And I thank him for it greatly because, dude, these comics are a banger. Now, yes, I do have volumes. I also have the next two future volumes, so stay tuned for those for the future. I'm not going to review them back to back. I'm going to put some space in between just so I can give the other comics a read. But yeah. So, this story, this is, of course, Tom Taylor's Nightwing, and this series has been nothing short. Every time I read it, I almost, forget that this comic is awesome. I literally, almost every time I read it, it's like I almost forget that this comic is just a fucking banger. Every time. And it won 2 Eisner Awards, right? It says on the cover. Yeah, the comic has been nothing short of brilliant, and I've really thoroughly enjoyed it, so let's get into this comic. So this storyline basically wraps up everything with Blockbuster. Essentially what's going on is that for those who are unaware, and let me catch you up if you haven't been keeping up with Nightwing's, the Tom Taylor Nightwing run. Basically, Nightwing, Dick Grayson, had returned to Bludhaven, and now he's using an inheritance that he got from still past Alfred. I say still past because there's always a chance he can come back. And he's been using that money to put into Bludhaven's, communities. However, Blockbuster and Salvatore Maroni, as well as a few other forces, have been trying to stop Nightwing because, that kind of interrupts them making money and hurting people. Among those, he's also discovered that Tony Zuko's daughter is his half-sister and is now acting mayor, and she's trying to help Nightwing fix everything. This comic basically brings to a head everything, like I said, with Blockbuster, who, it's very cool to see, basically Nightwing and Blockbuster were the Daredevil and Kingpin of the DC universe. That's the best way to describe it. The comic really delves into, people in power hurting small communities. I really also enjoy a lot of the story, a lot of this undertone, and it's funny because now as of this recording, I've now just started reading the first volume of J. Michael Straczynski's Captain America, and that one's already 2 issues in on that, and I'm thoroughly enjoying that comic as well. That will be a review in the near future. Yeah, so this series is essentially been nothing short of awesome. I don't the run ended, and now it's a whole new era of a run, and it's kind of cool because, again, reading in trade, I feel you get the whole story like a season in a TV series. I really do like how also the art is just breathtaking in a lot of these stories. What is it? That. That's perfect, right? That's just nothing short of perfect. I really also there's a great moment where, Blockbuster discovers who Dick Grayson is. During a fight, he knocks the mask off, and he's like, "Hey, Nightwing's Dick Grayson! I'm gonna fucking kill you!" And then he escapes, Blockbuster escapes, and we'll get to that in a minute. But, there's a moment where he's talking to Batgirl, and their relationship has been kind of, getting back together. And he has this moment where he's like, "I'm sorry, but Barbara Gordon and Dick Grayson can't be together." And Barbara goes, literally says, "Fuck that!" And she's like, and he's like, "But Barbara." And it's again that argument that superheroes can't be together, or superheroes can't have relationships. And we just had this whole thing in Ultimate Spider-Man. And she literally goes, "Do you not know what world we're living in? So Blockbuster knows who we are. Cool." Darkseid could show up tomorrow and vaporize me, or Kite Man could fall on me, or Trigon could just fucking annihilate my soul. The point is, you're Dick Grayson, you deserve to be happy. And I'm Barbara Gordon, I deserve to be fucking happy. So I don't know what, like, if we're going to have the relationship destroyed in the comic. Again, I know the run is over as of this recording, but I've been reading in trade, so don't tell me. Like, don't spoil it for me. And I also have really, like, I've really enjoyed that, and we get more, now that the Blockbuster arc is over, we're now getting into this villain that's been in the shadows for the past 4 volumes, Heartless, who, I think we already, like, and I already picked this up, you don't have to spoil this part for me, I already picked up from Volume 1 when we saw Heartless, I was like, oh, so it's Dick's old bully who was a psychopath. Yeah. Yeah. That was a mystery everyone could solve. Anyway, so this comic I know this comic is already, this run has already been over, but it's really fun reading the comic by trade, and I can't wait to see how the series continues. Like I said, I have volumes 4 and 5, or should I say, it's like, I feel like it should have been called something else, because again, there was, Volume 2 was literally Fear, they didn't call it Volume 2, they just called it a Fear State tie-in. But yeah. If you haven't really read any of Tom Taylor's Nightwing, this was probably some of the best DC books out there. So I thoroughly recommend this comic. I cannot sing its praises enough. Every time I read it, it's like every time I read it, it's like I forget that it's it's like I forget how good this book is. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, when I started reading this book, I was like, oh yeah, this comic's fucking awesome. Taylor had a great voice for it, and Tom Taylor is always a great writer. I know some of his stuff at Marvel's kind of rocky, but his DC work, he clearly has a heart for. It's like Mark Waid, where, oh yeah, his Marvel stuff's alright, but his DC work is where his real heart is. That's where I feel like, and again, I know Taylor got his start in Marvel, but it's clear that his heart is with DC. Although, having said that, I do kind of want to read. Tom Taylor had a quick run of a Spider-Man book called Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. There's a part of me that kind of wants to read that. But anyway, so this book is awesome. This book it just continues to be 100% awesome. If you haven't already, pick this book up. It's a thoroughly great read. I absolutely enjoy this comic, and I am gonna have some space in between reading the next 2 volumes of Nightwing, but yeah, once again it's gonna be like, oh hey, this comic is awesome, I can't wait to read the next volume, oh my god, I forgot how good this book is. So yeah, and Chris, brother, once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This was awesome. Thank you so much for the comic. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for that comic, as well as, literally all the other books you sent. It's a great help for me to keep up with these series, as well as keep up with, read these books I wouldn't be able to afford myself. So, brother, thank you so much for the generosity. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you, if you've read, and again, this book came out a while ago, this trade came out, and I know the Nightwing series is almost over, but you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of Nightwing, the Battle for Bludhaven's Heart? Did you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. Like I said, don't spoil the rest of the Tom Taylor Nightwing run. I'm like so far behind, but I know my, bro, Chris is going to be sending me that entire run, like the Ben Percy Wolverine run. But anyway, so yeah, just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.